Welcome to the Self-Taught Developer channel. I'm Frano. I'm here to show you what is my weekly report in my journey to get and learn being a web developer, and with a journey where I share the experience with a step-by-step guide, how I learn, what I have learned, what I do not know, what I need to learn, and also to build a project with the currency strength meter as an example that I would like to know to build and also have a finished project. In today, this is the week 8 since I have started this web development journey, where I will show you what I have learned this week and what I have focused in this week. For now, I'm still learning HTML because I need to learn the basics and also the foundation of the HTML, but in more depth. As I have said in the previous report, I have started using Udemy course with Angela Yu with complete web development journey tutorial where I learn how to use and become a full stack web developer, and that means learning the front end and also a back end. And then I have stopped at one moment where I have decided it is too much for me to have so much knowledge in the short period of time. So I have learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I have started to use Express with Node.js, and it was too much because the tutorial has shown me that how to learn but basic things, and those basic things was very quick for me without going into more depth to learn more details to stick in my head. So I have decided to stop it at that moment and start learning from the beginning, and I have started to learn HTML with a small project, and that small project was learning from other tutorials. Currently I'm learning from YouTube HTML free code camp where I learn how to start with HTML, only HTML. Then the next step will be CSS. So for now I'm building a website, which you can see also here. It is a self-taughtdeveloper.com, where I share the details, what I learned during this week and also the week before. For example, you can see where I have started to put everything from the VS Code to the domain on the hostinger, to the domain health self-taught developer. So I would like to share what I have learned, what I do not know, for example, and what I have learned up to now. And also I have other pages. For example, here it is a review of this free code camp tutorial from the YouTube, where I share also details of what I would like to see, because I have seen that when they learn sometimes they do not have all the basics that the beginners should know. So I put everything here for a later use, and also for you if you would like to see what it is necessary to learn when learning HTML. What are the missing spots in the learning curve, also in the learning tutorial from the YouTube that is missing. So I hope this will be helpful for you and also for anyone who would like to learn HTML from start as a beginner without knowing anything before. And later on, when I finish the HTML, I will build a few web pages here on the Self-Taught Developer. For example, it will be a home page like this one, then it will be about page, and this is the third page that I will have a free code camp HTML course review. And if there is any other course or tutorial from the YouTube, I will cover. I will also put here some kind of a small review, what is missing and also what was good inside that tutorial, so you can expect what you see there and is it useful or not. The goal from this report is to inform you what I have done this week and also what I'm expecting in the next week to learn. So for example, let's start from the VS Code. You can see that I do everything inside the VS Code, and I have here the extension that is called Live Preview I'm using. So everything I do here, it is visible on the right side. For example, let's put here, you can see it is visible immediately on the right side. It makes automatically changes visible what I would see live on the web. So for now, this week I have started to learn about more HTML, and these are the entities I have learned. the list types. You can see it here: unordered list, ordered list, description list. And then I have learned about HTML semantics section, what it is, to easily jump somewhere. And there are some small things that I have learned, and this, for example, address. Then I have learned about abbreviation, that you can see it here, that it has dots below MDN. And I have learned also this one here. On the 5th of February, I have added icon, and that is the small icon you can see when we go here. On the web, you can see it is STD. This is a small icon for this website, like Hostinger has it here. Let's go back in the VS Code. And I have learned how to use, just a minute, we need to go here into Free Code Camp. This one doesn't work, okay, it's working, sorry. I have learned also this one, just a minute, let me find it, where it is. Here it is. I have also learned HTML, the page starts, and also I have Metapart here. And there is one more thing that I would like to show you, and that is just right where it is. Well, I do not see this one here, but I will show it here inside the code. And this is very useful, that you have here entities, HTML entities, like this one, and BSP for the space. You have this one, which is LT and also GT, which allows you to put brackets instead of writing. For example, this is the one bracket. For example, this is the one, it replaces. So you can see it here. When I put this one here, it is right here inside the web page. It says the bracket, order list, and closing bracket. And instead of the brackets, you cannot write that here inside the code, but you need to have these entities instead of that to have visible these brackets here inside the web page. So these are very useful if you would like to write here some kind of a text that is including these tags that are used inside the HTML. So this is what I have done this week. I am still learning, and I'm putting here the text, and also I am switching that inside the live web page. And this is the self-taught developer I am currently using with a Hostinger hosting company. And everything that I do, I put here inside the GitHub account. This week I have shown, also made a video about how to create GitHub account, how to make a repository. For example, this is the one that I'm currently working. You can see it here. When I click the HTML, you can see all the pages that I currently have inside the VS Code. So for example, take a look here inside the Explorer. I have HTML folder, then I have images folder, and then I have 4 HTML pages. And this is everything visible also here inside the GitHub account. So you can visit this one, GitHub account, and download this one to follow me with the same code. When I return one step back, you can see what is the contributions in this year, in the last year, and also this year. And you can see that in February, I had no contribution on February 6th, and 1 contribution on January 31st. So this is something that I do every day. I put here inside the GitHub account whatever I have done that day to be informed, and also if someone is following me, that he can see what are the project's files have been changed. You can see it here, and to follow what is the code I am still using. What I would like to tell you about the progress up to now is that it is a very useful when you put here on the page, write this one when you learn something. And that is very good, because when I, for example, when I was working with the entities, HTML entities, which is this one, you have ampersand with LT, semicolon, and GT, semicolon. I have started to go to the to YouTube and also Google and the MDN documents from the Mozilla Developer Network to learn more about these details, how they work and what are other HTML entities. And when I have learned about them, how to use them, I have put here a text, and that was sticking in my head very easily. This means that when I put something here, when I work for some, when I work with something, and it is in my projects, for example, when I learn from this, just a minute, this is the HTML tutorial on the YouTube from the free code camp. I'm following this one, and I'm not typing what he is typing, and this is good because when you're following a tutorial and when they say type this one here, it's the same thing that they are typing. It's not good 100% because you type what you can see what they are typing, so you're not thinking too much about that what you are typing. But instead, when you make a page and follow the tutorial and use the same, for example, these HTML text elements, but you put your own text and your idea, for example, what I am currently doing here, making a website, web page with my text that I would like to have on this web page, not following the same text from the tutorial from the YouTube. I'm building something and I'm thinking about how to use these elements on my own. I know what is the foundation, that is what is the basics that you need to learn when you're learning with tutorial. Learn the basics, but use those basics to build something on your own. And this is something that everybody teaches on the YouTube inside the tutorial. It's very good to use that, but it is always to build your own projects. And this is, for example, one of the examples how to do that. Make your own website, put your own content there, and you will learn much faster and it will stick in your head. For example, currently I know everything from my head because I was using this one inside the VS Code, all the knowledge, these HTML tag elements, and when I was testing writing, I knew what I would like to see on the web page. And when you know what you would like to see, for example, I wanted to have this one a list that is ordered and also unordered, and also then that is something intended inside. I needed to learn how to do that. And this is something that in the side tutorial, they did not go into more details, so I needed to figure out on my own. This has helped me to learn more from the web, to go to find on a web page that explains to me how this works and also how to make that possible. And this is something that has helped me to learn much more better than just following the tutorial. So for example, there are some cases that I didn't know until I have followed the tutorial and tested on my own, and that is when you have a list here, you cannot use ordered or unordered list inside the list unless you put the list completely at the end, the closing tag. So you cannot put the list and put this closing tag here and then below that use unordered list and then again close the list. It's not possible because you will get an error. You need to have starting tag from the list and closing tag of the list, and then inside put unordered list. So this is something that I didn't know, but I have seen when I've tested with the HTML validator website. It said that I cannot use that. So this is something, these are the errors that I have found during my testing phase and also when working on my website. Then I have learned, for example, these are jumping inside the text with a hashtag, and also, for example, back to top. This is something that I have learned from current tutorial from the free code camp. This is very useful and I'm still learning. You can see that there is still, for example, I have around 2.5 more hours to pass this complete tutorial on the YouTube. It is 4 hours long, and I think I will learn a lot. And then after that, I will see how much I know. Because the goal is to build a website with several pages, and you can see it here. It is about page, contact page, this is current review page, and index, which is a home page. After I learn HTML, I would like to have a complete website page that will be my web page for this website, self-taught developer. And when I build them completely with HTML, then it will be a next step to move to the next CSS tutorial. So it will be some kind of project that I'm building for myself, learning with the tutorials and building with that knowledge this website. And then I think it will stick a lot in my head about the HTML, and then about the CSS, and then the third part will be JavaScript, and then later on it will be a backend which will be a Node.js with everything after that. So this is the goal, and this is what I have learned this week, which is very good. I need to say it is very good way how to learn, not just watching the tutorial and typing the same thing that you see inside the tutorial, but to work directly on your website with your own project, and sticking only on one thing, and that is currently HTML, to stick into your head. Later on you will know everything about HTML which is needed to move to the next step, because if you cover the HTML only with the tutorial from the YouTube, from for example free code camp, you will not learn too much, because it will not stick you in your head, and later on when you get to the CSS and the JavaScript, you will not understand HTML properly, and you will not easily understand the CSS and the JavaScript. I have started with a Udemy course, and I have seen it's not working like that, because when I have come to the part when I needed to use JavaScript with the Express, I did not know HTML and the CSS almost at all. I knew it, the basics, but I could not start on my own writing something that was needed. So I've decided to go back and record this one, how I'm progressing, and also what is good and what's not good inside the tutorial, and also what is a good step. So we will see the next week. I will also make some kind of a report, what I have learned, what is good. Maybe that helps you in your journey to becoming a web developer or some other developer. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below in the description, and if you like, you can also click the like button and subscribe. If you would like to share with others, if you think it will be useful for them to learn from this developer journey, which will be, for example, I'm thinking a year or 1.5 years. So this is all from today's video. I hope you have enjoyed and you have learned something. I hope you have, and see you next week. Happy coding!